welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Sunday, the 7th of August, 2022. And this last week, I seem to have had quite a few new subscribers, which is absolutely lovely. And I am sure that is thanks to the lovely Mark Attwood, who shared my August video. So lots of love to you, Mark. And welcome to any new people to my channel. Have a good browse around, because you will see that I have a whole series in Lessons in Awakening and a whole series in self-healing techniques. There's a lot of free content on my YouTube channel. So welcome, and welcome back to my old faithfuls, as I call you, my modest but loyal watchers, viewers. So yeah, welcome back. So we are now coming up to the Lionsgate portal tomorrow. So exciting. We're thick in the energy of it, which is why it's so exciting, I think. Lots of meditations going on. So I hope you're making the most of the energies. And this time next week, as a little reminder, on the 14th of August, so that's next Sunday, Liz Nagel and I will be doing our Ask Us a Question. It's a free online event via Zoom. It's kind of exciting, it's new, it's different. It's us putting ourselves out there in a new and different way. So we're certainly embracing the new energies, and I hope you do too. And I hope you join us. And the Zoom link and the details are all on my website at jamesarmsworth.com. I will put a link in the description. And if you are a Mark Attwood fan and one of the new subscribers, and you haven't seen the video that I did with Mark, actually it's 2 years ago now, so August 2020. Yes, I'm sure we've all evolved a lot since then. Who hasn't? But still lots of relevant stuff in there. So I'll put a link to that as well in the description and the video in the end screen. Let's see what the cards want to tell us for this week. Taking a nice big inhale, relaxing the body. Oh, I said that, and those two wanted to come out. I put them face down. Very unusual for a card reader, but I like to have them face down for some reason, and then I'll turn them over and see what comes. Oh, that one wanted to come across. So take a nice deep breath, relax your body, because you're going to be activating your own inspiration as well, of course. Because there might be another meaning that comes out for you, or I might say something that triggers something else in your thinking. So this is you are creating your own reality. You always have. Okay, you've always done it for your own benefit, even if it doesn't look like that on some occasions. So open up to set the intention of receiving a message that your soul wants you to hear at this time, and you will take your own, message from things that are said, or from the cards that come up. It's really important to tune into your own intuition. I think that's it now. 3 is the magic number. Excuse the look, and I'm still wet. I've just had a swim, so I'm a bit wet still. So just in case you think it's sweating, although if I stay out here much longer, it will be sweating, because it's like 40 degrees here in Spain. But at the moment, it's just wet. I'll let you know when it turns to sweat. Right, so let's have a look what the cards have for us for this week. Oh, I love it. It came up, didn't it, for August? Of course it came up for August. We're still in the energy of it. It's the Strength card. You saw me shuffling it. The cards never lie. What can I tell you? The Strength card is the Leo card. It is the Leo card. We have got Lionsgate portal tomorrow. It is all about using these powerful energies coming in. And it is about believing in them. So yeah, what I want to say with this card now is that if you don't believe in something, you can't bring it into your reality, basically, because we create our reality through our beliefs. And our creative power lies in our ability to choose our beliefs. We literally choose our beliefs. And people say to me all the time, but that's not true, and that's not true. Make it true if you want it to be true. And if you don't want it to be true, stop putting your consciousness on it and stop choosing to believe it. Okay, now I'm not saying that things aren't true, right? But truth is subjective. And I don't have a copy of my scale of consciousness at the moment, but if you look at the video I did with Mark Attwood, I use it in there. But we create our reality at the frequency that we are, and we create our reality around our truths. So when we believe in something, we create it. And if our frequency is at that of fear, we will be creating a reality around that fear. So we cannot go up to people and say, life is full of love. There is nothing to fear in life. You can't say that to other people, because if they're vibrating at the frequency of fear, that frequency, we live in a universe governed by frequency. Remember what Nikola Tesla said: if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that frequency of fear will be reflected back to them. So therefore, they will be experiencing fearful people, fearful situations, fearful thoughts, fearful ideas. They will be coming into contact with fearful research, fearful, all sorts of things, fearful messages. Everything is energy, right? So we can't tell them that life is not fearful, because they are creating a fearful life, because that's what the frequency of their energy field is. And there is only us creating our reality. Okay, and we are creating it in the now moment. So every feeling, every frequency that we embody in every now moment is creating that reality. So also, if you look at that chart, you'll see it goes up to anger. And you can't tell people not to be angry, because they're going to be like surrounded by angry people. I mean, it happens for our benefit. Even when you're further up the chart, you can still for example, experience. I had a case the other day where it was, I'm just experiencing lots of rude people. Why am I experiencing lots of rude people? I've had like 5 rude people in one morning. Okay, so when that happens, I'm not going to think, oh, the world is full of rude people. I'm not going to think everybody's rude. You know, I'm not going to despair and think that humanity is going in the wrong direction. I'm going to stop and focus within and think, where am I being rude to myself? Or where have I been rude to others? And it may not be in this moment. It may be something in the past that I'm still holding on to in this moment. Because I think it came up in the August cards as well, that, you know, it's not the past events that are bringing us down. It's the emotions that we attach to them. So the past is in the past. That doesn't exist, right? But the emotions that we choose to bring forward with us do still exist. So somewhere, it doesn't matter where, but somewhere I've got to acknowledge that I've been rude to myself or to others. It's the same thing, because there is only us, and everybody else is a reflection of us. So I have to take that on board. And this is where it's really important to get out of denial. Oh, I'm not rude. I've never been rude. Well, that's just a silly thing to say, isn't it? Because the universe works on all sorts of different levels. And you might just have, like, you know, shut yourself up, or you might just have said something unkind to yourself. You know, don't eat that. You're overweight. I don't know. That's rude, isn't it? You might have said that to yourself. So it works on all sorts of different levels. So that's just a small example. That's just a very small example. But my point is, when you find that people are reacting like that, you know, it's a case of not blaming. You know, when you blame somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. They're reflecting back to you something inside of you. And no, you're not a rude person. And no, generally you're very polite, of course. But you're on your spiritual journey, and it's just a message from your higher self, because your higher self is creating the whole shebang for your benefit. So it's just for your benefit to realize there is some energy within you that has been rude to you. So it's going to be something disrespectful or something, you know, it's the way you talk to yourself. It's usually the way you talk to yourself, something like that. And it's just bringing you awareness to it. Okay, so what I would do in that situation is I would just counterbalance it with an affirmation. And I would say, I'm loving and polite to myself and others. I'm always loving and polite to myself and others. Okay, so I've got out of denial. I haven't denied it. Okay, I'm willing to change myself in order to change what's on the outside. because a lot of people stuck at that anger, they want change, but they want the things outside of them to change. And it doesn't work like that. Energetically, in the universe that we live in, it doesn't work like that. You have to change the frequency within you to be able to experience a different frequency outside of you. In order to experience a different reality outside of you, if you want change, it does have to start within. It sounds corny, but that's because it's true. So basically, if you experience something like that, let's say you experience angry people outside of you, you think, okay, you don't have to get angry and involve yourself with them. Just understand that there's some anger within you. Of course, there's going to be some anger within us at some stage during our life. We have so many trapped emotions, not to mention past life emotions, inherited emotions, ancestral emotions, cultural ones. I mean, so let's get out of denial, first of all. Let's take it on board and acknowledge that there are 50 trillion cells in our body. Bruce Lipton tells us that. And that in some of them, there's going to be some energy of anger. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but don't take it out on the angry people outside of you. Just say thank you to them. Thank you, because you're raising my awareness to the fact that there's some anger within me that needs my consciousness. Put your consciousness on the unconscious. Put your light on the dark. That's how it works. And then you'll see, and then it goes. The darkness goes when you put light on it. So the unconsciousness goes when you put consciousness on it. And your consciousness is you, it's your thoughts, it's your attention. I think relevant here, rather than for me to keep going on about this, I think relevant here is, I'm going to put a link in the description and the video in the end screen for my video on understanding triggers. I think that's what's coming up now, is understanding triggers. So yes, because that's one of the best ways to self-heal. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's exactly like I've just been saying. You get triggered, okay, and you don't blame the person on the outside. You go within, you focus, you feel the emotion within, and without reacting, you can just observe the emotion without becoming it. That's something we can learn from Eckhart Tolle in his book, The Power of Now. But we can observe an emotion. We might observe it in some part of the body, and we relax the physical body, allow that emotion to come up. It can get quite intense sometimes, and it does take practice. I'm not saying it doesn't. But then once you've allowed yourself to feel it, then it will process out, because emotions are like energy. They want to move in cycles. So it's just got stuck in your body because you didn't process it at some time. Okay, so there was a time when it wasn't processed, either in the past life or, in your gene line, but also in this lifetime, of course. An emotion that you felt, we suppress anger all the time. We're told as children we're not allowed to be angry. We suppress all sorts of things. When you want to cry and you stop yourself, that's an emotion that wants to come out, and we've stopped it. So we know that we've stopped a lot of emotions and trapped them deep within us. And so then when we acknowledge them, we want to help them process and help them complete that cycle, which will actually bring the energy out of your energy field. And that's what we want. And we can do that by observing it and keeping the body relaxed, because if you get the body tense, you're just going to hold on to it. And if you react, then you're just going to wallow in that, and entangle in that low frequency. We don't want to do that either, do we? We just want to put our higher self and our higher consciousness onto it and feel it. You have to feel it to heal it, I say. But you don't know, it doesn't have to go on forever. It's just, acknowledging it and being conscious. That's basically what it is. So I'm getting all of that from this card. So in the August card, in the August messages, I will put a link in the description in the video in the end screen for that one as well, because obviously there's a lot that I say about this card, and it's very much Leo season. So yes, that's come up to let us know that we're in the powerful energies of Leo. So everything you think and do is going to be amplified. So it's a really important time to get your affirmations out there, and to write any wish lists, any gratitude lists. I want to say gratitude lists. And I also want to say, with the second card, because it's the Five of Pentacles, so I want to say, don't focus on your weaknesses, because the Five of Pentacles is typically, I don't know whether the light's very good, because obviously I've got the sun right behind me, which isn't clever, I guess. But Yeah, so this is a Five of Pentacles, which is typically about scarcity. You can see they're actually kind of homeless and hungry and out in the snow. They're walking past a church, funny enough, that has these pentacles in the window. I sometimes think this card is about going without for the sake of your moral compass. I always think of, like, you know, not cutting your nose off to spite your face, but you know, they'd rather be poor than take money from the wrong source. So let's think of pentacles as being energy rather than just money. I think of it as being abundance, you know. So that inside this church, there'd be food and there'll be shelter and warmth and what have you. And they're walking on past because their morals are saying no for whatever reason. I'm not dissing the church there. I'm just saying they have their principles and they have a moral compass. And when we live within our moral compass, we get rewarded. I mean, it's not even personal. That makes it sound like it's personal. It's not. It's energy. Because when you live within your moral compass, what you're doing is you're living within your truth. You're expressing your truth. You're expressing your own ideas. You're expressing your sovereignty. That's what I want to say. And when we do that, our vibration rises. And when our vibration rises, our frequency rises and our level of consciousness expands. And that's when we create heaven on earth. That's when life gets better and better and better and better. So that's why you're rewarded. It's not like there's somebody up there rewarding you for being a good boy or girl. It's just the fact that when we follow our moral compass, I think it's more a case of when you don't follow your moral compass, you get that uncomfortable feeling inside because you're not being authentic. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not being true to yourself. And that's a low frequency to be in. So it's about embracing all of who you are and expressing all of who you are. And stepping into that. And sometimes that takes us, our moral compass takes us down a path whereby we might have to tighten our economic belts. You know, there's a lot of people that have left jobs for moral reasons, and they're taking less money now. So that's an example of what I'm trying to say. And I think it's a case of not being scared of this scarcity, because scarcity in the physical world can only exist if you have scarcity in your thoughts, because we create our physical reality from our thoughts and our words and our deeds. So one of my favorite affirmations is galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. I got that from Sara Landon. Sara Landon and the council, she channels the council. I'll put a link in the description to her teachings as well, because I definitely recommend them. So galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. That just really fills you with abundance, because it's that energy of abundance within you, that frequency. I'm going to bring it back to frequency all the time. That frequency of abundance within you that is creating the abundance outside of you. So if you have a sense of frequency of lack, I don't have enough, I'm not good enough. It's not always about money. I'm not good enough is obviously a common one, but I can't afford it. The expression I can't afford it is like so damning, because you're actually affirming that you can't afford it. You've thought it, you've put it into words, and you're going to act it out. And therefore you're creating it. You're creating your own scarcity. So it's so important to use words, use thoughts. That's why affirmations are so powerful. And affirmations actually get more and more powerful the more conscious you are, because of your understanding behind it. Understanding, consciousness, it's the same thing, right? And because of your belief. I think I started off saying, if you don't believe something, you can't bring it into your reality. So we have to believe, and using words are so powerful. It starts with the word. Okay, we know that words are spells, so we need to use them for our benefit. So starting off with affirmations of abundance is really important, and also with I can and I can't. This is always very interesting. This really hit home for me, because I teach the sway test a lot. For those of you that are new to that, I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Teaching yourself the sway test. It's one of my most popular videos. you sway forward on a positive and backwards. I go into detail with it. You can use it with food, and you can use it for kinesiology on a physical level, talking to your body, but you can also use it talking to the subconscious, talking to your subconscious about trapped emotions and what beliefs you're in alignment with. And we can also use it to access the Akashic records at a higher level of consciousness as well. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing it. But when you do use the sway test and you stand there and you're relaxed, you have to follow the video to know all the details on that. And you say, I can, you'll go forward. Just the words, I can. You'll go forward. And if you say, I can't, you'll notice yourself going backwards. Now, when you go backwards, you're contracting. You're completely contracting. That's not what we want. We want to expand. The universe is expanding and we're expanding with it. If we're in a contracted state, we don't expand, right? The idea is to expand into higher levels of consciousness. So we want to say, I can. Okay, so the phrase can't is very negative. And what's interesting, I live in Spain, and the word for to be able to, I can, to be able to, is the same word as power. Poder. It's the same word as power. And I just suddenly, that hit home to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can is the same word as power. It makes perfect sense to me. So yes, try all of that, because the power is in your words. And if if you can't afford something, you don't have to use those words. I often will say something like, it's not my priority at the moment, or I'm using my resources for other things at the moment. There's other ways that we can refer to it without using that negative energy of those words. So this is scarcity thinking, but it's also about in yourself, if not feeling good enough. It's like, I am good enough. I am good enough. And actually, an affirmation that came to me this morning, which I think is a really powerful one, because I have recently been affirming, I am ready and willing to allow my full potential. Okay, that's a powerful one. But this morning it came to me, I am returning to my soul's divine blueprint. Wow, I mean, that just came to me. I was just processing some emotions, some inner trauma that was coming up. I was allowing myself to cry, because crying is such if you think about it, crying is your body's natural mechanism to process trapped emotions. It really is. So why we have, got a culture whereby we don't encourage people to cry. Even our best friends will go, oh, don't cry, don't cry. It's crazy. It's like, no, cry, cry, because you're processing. That's your body's natural mechanism to process these negative emotions that you don't want in your energy field. So don't stop people from crying. Hold space for them. Hold the love. Hold the love. Let them know they're loved. Let them know they've got space whereby they can use their personal body's mechanism to process all these emotions. It's the greatest gift you can give someone. And then once they've processed it, give them a big hug. But you don't want to stop that process, is my point. So yes, I was doing that, and then it just kind of came to me. I am returning to my soul's divine blueprint. Wow, because we use the phrase divine blueprint in the soul realignment work that I do. When we're soul realignment, realigning with the soul's blueprint. Before we got all this trapped emotions, limiting beliefs, or as Eckhart Tolle calls it, the pain body. Paul Selig calls it boulders. Different people call it different things, but it's basically the density that we're holding on to, the low frequency emotions and the low frequency beliefs that we're holding on to. That's our baggage, isn't it? And that's what's that's what's getting us out of alignment with our soul's divine blueprint. So just affirming the power of your words, just affirming, I am realigning with, or I am returning to my soul's divine blueprint. That's what came up for me. The last card is the Nine of Wands. Now you can see this is pretty much the wounded healer. He's exhausted. So if you do feel exhausted, honor that. Don't push yourself, honor it. There's these energies coming in. So this week we have this Lion's Gate portal, and we have these energies coming in. So yes, honor it. Take time out for yourself. The other message with this card is to dig deep into your spiritual reserves. Dig deep into your spiritual understanding, I want to say, into your spiritual knowledge. Okay, so there's a lot of spiritual lessons, shall we call them. Last week we had the forgiveness coming up, or I think it was the month of August, the other ones, where we had a lot of forgiveness coming up. There's all these spiritual lessons. And what happens is we learn them receptively. So they're kind of in our mind. We've heard them before. They resonate with us. But until we actually put them into our words and put them into our actions and actually apply them on a daily basis, we cannot embody that lesson completely. And I think that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from this card is all these expressions that we've heard, and all these spiritual lessons. I'm going to refer again to my Lessons in Awakening on YouTube. It's a whole series of how you're an energy being, understanding the importance of words, understanding your emotions, mastering your emotions and your thoughts, understanding triggers, understanding the importance of willingness, the importance of words, the importance of loving yourself. All of these things that are what I would call spiritual lessons. I think it's really important not just to hear it, but to really contemplate it and to put your words on it. So either writing it, journaling it, or writing a blog yourself if you're inspired, or just sharing it with somebody else, talking about it with somebody else really helps consolidate it into the cells of our body. And that's when we start applying it to our life on a daily basis. That's what he's saying, because we're exhausted. We are the healers. He's the exhausted, he's the wounded healer. You know, the healers in life, and you know, most of you watching this will be healers of some sort or another. You might not be formally doing it, but your heart is open and you're sharing your divine love with others, which is healing. The path of extension, the evolution path, is a healing one, I think. And those that put themselves out there, you know, we're healing our own wounds. And because there is only us creating our reality, remember, and everything outside of us is a reflection. So when I first started energy healing, I used to find that I'd get 2 or 3 clients with the same issue. And I'd be like, isn't that a coincidence? Before I realized, no, there is no such thing as a coincidence. You're creating the whole thing. Why, Deborah, have you created 3, which is the magic number, 3 clients in a row, all with the same issue? The only reason that you can do that, you're doing it for your benefit. Either you need to practice at it, but you need to do it for yourself. Because when we heal others, we're healing ourselves. So this wounded healer, it's about understanding where your own wounds are. So we all specialize in different things. I specialize in heart wall healings, you know, and other things, of course, but that's obviously because I need to open my own heart, and that's why I've spent so much time doing just that. So whatever it is that you're offering others that is your area of expertise, it's understanding that you're doing it for yourself, because there is only you, and realizing that you need that. So if you get 3 clients or 3 people in general, you might not be working like that, but 3 people in general, it's like I said, if you get 3 rude people, it's telling you that there's some rudeness within you somewhere. If you get 3 people with the same issue, it's telling you that that's an issue for you to work on. It's brilliant in a way, because you don't need to go and be diagnosed anywhere. You just live life to the fullest, and then you just look at the triggers that are coming in, or even just the clients coming in, or the people, the friends, whatever. What's coming in? What's repeating? Where's the repeating pattern? It's a message from my higher self to me. And that's how it works. So this card is saying acknowledge those messages, and it gives you some direction as to where to go and what to work on. So yes, this is telling us that the energies are very powerful at the moment, and these 2 cards are telling us to not focus on the scarcity, to focus on your positive affirmations using I can, I am, what have you, and also to acknowledge and to be aware of what's going on, the repeat issues, repeat patterns going on. And what is it telling you? What is your higher self telling you through that reflection of others? So the people there in your holographic projection that you're calling life are going to be, coming forward with either triggers or repeat patterns, repeat messages. So what is it saying to you? And then just take it on board and apply it. Okay, so this is our opportunity to apply all that we've learned on this journey. So, because it's also an opportunity to understand how powerful you are, because if you cannot perceive how powerful you are, and if you cannot believe how powerful you are, then you won't be able to bring that power into your reality. So we have to believe it to achieve it. We have to believe it to achieve it. So believe in your power, because it's going to get amplified. Definitely don't focus on your weaknesses. We don't want those amplified. So believe in your power, believe in your soul's divine blueprint, believe that you're going in the right direction, because you are. Believe that you are healing and loving and everything that is needed at this time. And I'm getting quite emotional. So I want to thank you all for all the work that you're doing. This inner work is what is creating the shifts in our collective. And I know that you're all doing your bit. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love to you all. Just a quick reminder, if you are new to my channel and you've made it to the end, well done. If you are new to energy healing and you want to know more about it, my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, is free to download from my website at deborahjanesutton.com. And my second book is available from Amazon, Heal Your Soul, links in the description. So you might find those interesting as well. I'm going to love you and leave you now, but have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye for now.